Wow, that's really dark. Let's see if anyone shows up. Boy, that's really dark. It's a little bit better. Man, that glare is horrible. Hello, friends. Those back pages here. I hope you're well. Just felt like going live tonight. Just shoot the crap a little bit there. Claire Schmer. Hi, Dave. Yeah. See a couple people coming in. Maybe I'll give it a second. Hope everyone is well. Hey, Jonathan. Yeah, just the general malaise that's going on. Boy, that glare is horrible. I apologize. I want to see like I'm looking down at the camera, but yeah, just the general malaise of everything that's going on with the third-party grading and blowout detective agency, which we call BODA. Just it's pretty much daily they're showing new comparisons of old scans versus new scans, old sales versus new sales. I'm hesitant to name names per se, just because I'm not an officer of the law or student of the law. I'm just, hey Greg, I'm just a collector, average everyday Joe collector, and I really love the hobby. It means a lot to me. Hold on a second. Put this fan on me. All right. It's a little bit better. It's a little warm. It's not Cali hot, but it's we have 2 seasons now. We go right from winter to summer, through spring, maybe fall sometimes. There we go. Frost warning. Nice. All right, let's start talking. Don't start looking at the clock. The gist of it is, it's a problem. Hey, Mark. Good to see you. And next time you do a video, Mark, can you pronunciate your name? Stuff of sports or something. I don't know. It's however you pronounce it, Mark. I know your name is Mark, so that's easy. I remember that. Scott posted a video today. There's many sales sold of Bart Starr autographs, which are fake. One was graded PSA over 300. Yep. I mean, unfortunately, when someone famous passes away, people then flock out to buy their autographs and their cards and everything. The cycle of a player's hobby life is, up and coming phenom, get promoted, make your debut, perform stellarly, win a World Series, retire, get into Hall of Fame, then die. That's pretty much, yes, R.I.P. Bill Buckner. So that's pretty much your cycle of collectability. Of course, like everything else, there's exceptions. Back to the topic at hand. Hey, Alex. So the gist of it, if you guys aren't on Blowout, I spend a lot of time on Blowout. It just happened to, it's easy to have the message board up and, refresh and see what's going on. Chris Joyce says it's bleak at the moment, but maybe this sharpens the grading companies up. Perhaps they have been getting lazy and unfocused. I think that's a very fair statement. I think they're a bit overwhelmed with the volume that they've been grading. I mean, they're constantly saying, "Yeah, we had the best year yet, the most certified, yada yada yada." I'm not here to defend anybody. I don't work for PSA. I don't work for BGS. I don't work for SGC. But here's what I'm noticing. The problem is a problem. There's no denying that. But the problem is fairly isolated. Again, I'm not going to name names, so I'm just going to use generic names. I mean, if you do enough research, and it doesn't take much, just go to Blowout, and the baseball section has a mantle, a base. I think it's called the 52 Mano. What is it called? I'll tell you exactly what it's called. 52 Mano blank auction. The name of the company in question, auction. Basically, is what's going on in there is there's a hardcore group of essentially three guys. I think they're guys. They're using usernames on Blowout. They're not on social media, even though I've encouraged them to hop on Facebook because Blowout as an entity is very popular in the message board format, but in the grand scheme of things, it's like spitting in the ocean for cards. It's not. I mean, you go to any major show and you say, "Hey, are you on Blowout?" And they'll look at you like, "No, I don't. I buy my wax from my distributor or whatever it may be." They don't really know. That Blowout has a pretty, for what it is in 2019, it has a pretty active message board. And again, saying that it's not all that active in the grand scheme of things. Whereas now I don't use Facebook, but I have been led to believe that on Facebook it's a very active card community. So that's a good question, Mark. Has there been any impact in hammer prices for high grade vintage? I'm not sure, because I really don't follow the high grade stuff. So basically, I've told these BOTA members, "Hey, you guys should get on Facebook. You really want to hammer this home, get the word out there, get on Facebook." But they don't do YouTube. No one knows who they are, and I guess based on what they're doing, I guess anonymity is important. It's easier for them to do what they're doing, just being anonymous. And so basically what the gist of it is, we're getting off track. A certain buyer will buy and again, BOTA is using Worth Point, and PWCC has their own archives of sales and stuff and everything. So they're using all this information to, speaking specifically on this mantle thread, they're looking at vintage. They're looking, let me pull it up real quick. They're looking at, specific examples. Let me just, there was a good one. Let's see. and it's giving off the it's a 38 Gaudi DiMaggio. There's a PSA 3 sold on December 4th, 2016 for $1,875. Sold by PWCC to an ID known as Whitman 111. Sold for $1,875 on December 4th, 2016. The same card was sold by PWCC as a 3.5 on March 11th, 2018 for $2,820. So a value gain of $945. And then he shows, they've got the before and the after picture. The 3.5 is quite a bit brighter. There are identifying marks because these cards aren't serial numbered. I mean, it's a pretty safe bet to say it's the same card. It looks to have gotten a haircut. It's definitely gotten a cleaning or conservation. So there's an example of this on this thread. Just almost to the point where there's one or two every day. Here's there's a 33 Sport Kings Jim Thorpe that went from an SGC 4 to a PSA 5.5. A Maurice Richard 53 Parkhurst went from a 7 to an 8. Sold by PWCC to Whitman on July 19th, 2017 for $628. Sold by PWCC on March 25th of this year for $2,800. A value gain of $2,172. There's even greater examples. There is, and this is where it really gets interesting. There is an example of a BVG7 a few pages back. I'm just going to, spit out some numbers. A BVG7 Bill Russell rookie that sold for $5,000 or something like that, maybe $7,000. That now resides in a PSA 7.5, which sold for like $28,000 or something, like a $21,000 profit difference. Sold by a consignment house to one individual, and then a year or so later sold again by that same consignment house to the public. The math here is not difficult. Time and time again, it's just one guy is the winner of an old auction. Then all of a sudden the same card comes back a year or so later in a higher grade holder and is sold for, like I said with the Russell, up 10 times more money. This person, this Gary Moser guy, Whitman 111, he tends to focus on, from what I've together, he focuses on more of the obscure issues, like the small, like 48 Leafs, the that Gaudi, DiMaggio. There's a whole bunch of like 52 tops, not baseball, like Look and See or something it's called. Let me see if I can find one real quick. Here's a T206 green Cobb that went from a 2 to a 3.5. So it went from $2,000 to 4,800. See if I can find one of these real quick. I don't want to. There's a 52 like presidents and really oddball set. Like Benedict Arnold is in the set. So yeah, evidently this person has been doing this for a very long time and has mastered the art of making rough cuts. If that makes any sense, making 50s cuts. Like there's a 54 Bowman Maze that made the edges look rough. Like trimmed it and made the edges look rough. Here's 52 Look and See. On September 28th, 2018, a 6.5 PSA 6.5 was sold by PWCC to Whitman 111 for $26. Consigned to PWCC and sold on March 27th, 2019 as a PSA 8 for $128. So $102 gain. And then it has pictures of the before and the after, showing where the side has been trimmed off. And it's got identifying marks that there's no real question that it's the same card. And it's this over and over and over again. So it's just case after case, and it's essentially, of course, and then there's other guys too. And it's not just limited to PSA. This past week, let me look up this criminal's name. A man by the name of Robert Michael Block. If you go to the members sales trade feedback section, there's a whole thread that it's pretty much speculated this person is creating BGS 10s. So, and LeBron rookies, and McDavid Young Guns and stuff. And it's estimated he's made over $1 million doing this. Oh, Pepino. Is this the beginning of a scary movie or porno? The answer is yes. So, again, it's not just one company, it's not just one user, but this relationship between essentially Gary Moser and PWCC seems very, very. Obviously, there's just something not right there. And time again, I mean, it's almost like there'll be 2 or 3 cards posted every day. Like, all right, well, here's this, and it's funny because there was one, and again, this thread is. This thread is, 79 pages. So to go through it all is kind of crazy. But this Gary Moser guy turned a PSA 2.5 into an 8 for a certain obscure Look and See card or something, but only went up like $40 or something like that. So Again, it's just we're at a point now where who's going to roll over on who first. I mean, the high end designation that PWCC has given out has proven, according to some, that it's like a telltale sign that something went on with that particular car. Let's see. There's some talk in the chat room. Alex asks, has PSA publicly said anything about this? Are they taking any legal action? I guess I could look it up, but I'm feeling lazy. No, they have not made any public remarks, and I wouldn't expect them to. And on one section of the blow-up boards, PWCC made a statement of something tenants, and they talked about their own, rules and conservation, and it, pretty much put their foot in their mouth and almost made everything worse they were kept on talking, so it kind of made everything worse. But no, PSA hasn't said anything. I don't expect them to say anything publicly until they're ready to take action on this or announce whatever they're going to do. Mark asks, why wouldn't these auction houses just be like, we don't grade the cards? It seems like they're failing epically from a PR standpoint and are trying to get ahead of something. I guess that's fair. Again, I don't expect PSA to make any public announcements. They're a publicly traded company. I'm sure they've got the staff working on it, lawyers working on it. As far as BGS goes, to the best of my knowledge, BGS doesn't guarantee anything with their product. They just slab them and ship them out. They don't really. I don't think they have any kind of liability once the card is out the door. So that kind of also leads to people thinking that they're easily manipulated. And I honestly don't think one thing everyone's saying is that everything is grading is a scam, and everyone is in on it, and it's a collaboration between the auction houses and the third party graders, and everybody is on the take. And I don't believe that. Could there be a bad seed in there? Yeah, there could be. No, Ray is right. I don't think BGS has as much to lose as PSA. No, because honestly, if you've known me long enough, I'm not really a big BGS guy. But hey, Nate. But honestly, with BGS, I think the CEO or someone up in the company that owns Beckett is in jail for wire fraud or trying to bribe somebody. I don't remember. I didn't look into it that much, but to me personally, Beckett is a service to grade cards, and once that service is not making money and is losing too much money, then they'll just pack it up. They don't have anyone to answer to. They're not a publicly traded company. They could go away at any time. I don't think it's going to happen, and I actually think it would be bad if it happens because monopolies are bad. As we've learned from Topps being the only company making cards, Panini only company making football and basketball, and Upper Deck making hockey. Monopolies are not good. I mean, that's a whole, everyone knows that. And see, Abel says, I feel auction houses are staying mute to stay on PSA good graces, and by saying something, if people bid less, they make less money. It's true. It's a catch-22. Ray says, as much as grading goes, I trust PSA much more. Obviously, I agree with you. Ed says, in all seriousness, I hate to be pessimistic, but the only way this will change is if people stop supporting and buying cards from PWCC. Money talks. That is the only real solution we collectors have, and that's true. That's very true, Ed. I mean, that's, again, do your due diligence when you're buying stuff. If you're spending real money, and everyone's definition of real money is different, but we have the tools now to go back and check out and make sure everything's on the up and up. We can't, days now are gone that we just 100% trust the third party readers. We never really should have in the first place. But I will still say, Cesar says the hobby needs a superhero, and that superhero's name is Pepino Man. I agree. But I still say that buying graded is still a better option than buying raw. Unless, something's brand new, just out. Where there's, and again, if somebody's not really concerned about what a condition of a card is and they just want to own the card, then that's fine. Just buy a raw copy. But if you want to buy, an Aaron rookie, I really would not recommend buying a raw copy of an Aaron rookie. Or a Jordan rookie. I just wouldn't recommend buying a raw copy. Even for me, personally, I don't even feel comfortable online buying a raw Mattingly Donruss rookie. Just, because that was so heavily counterfeited 35 years ago. And I'm not even saying someone who has it now and selling it raw even knows it's counterfeit. And then, you get it in, you do the work, blah, blah, blah. It just, and you can return it and etc. But it's just buy a nice lower graded copy. It's just, am I concerned? Like, do I have any cards that are trimmed or conserved? I'm sure I do. I've been collecting slabs since 2005, so, I probably have about 2,500 or so slabs. So, like Nate says, the situation is tough for high-grade vintage collectors. It absolutely is. And I've never been, thankfully, I've never had the wallet for it. But it's never been my forte to buy, a high-end graded vintage. So I'm not really, my main core, like my Mana rookie, my Maze rookie, my Aaron, I'm not concerned. I bought them a long time ago, and not that means anything, because obviously this Moser character has been doing this for seemingly decades now. But I don't have concerns with my cards, and nor should you. At the end of the day, we own our own cards. But going forward, excuse me, I gotta drink something. But going forward, maybe think twice. Just do a little footwork on it. I know a couple of people are still looking for Aaron rookies and Clemente rookies, and I wouldn't buy those raw. No. It says this is becoming more a problem in recent years since more investors are entering the hobby and they're treating it like a hobby, treating this hobby as a retirement 401k. That's very true. But then at the same time, it's not something that's new. It's being brought to light. The higher hammers on the higher end stuff obviously brings more attention, more spotlight to the hobby. The sale of the Jordan PMG green, in the authentic holder that sold for $350, that brought a lot a lot of eyes that normally wouldn't look to the hobby. PWCC itself is been pushing hard for the last year or so. I don't know that cards are an asset or an investment driven device. You know, they're coming out with their vault or something where you can store your high-end cards. Now, some people have said that's I've seen some of you guys' videos on it. Like, if you live in a state that charges tax on eBay and you happen to buy something and have it sent somewhere else, you don't have to pay that tax. Blah blah blah. That's not for me to say. Nate says, bottom line, when you purchase a slab, you're buying an opinion, not a fact. As collectors, it's important we do our own homework. It's true. Very, very 100% true. And again, these guys don't spend a lot of time looking at these cards. Now, the one thing I will say for PSA, from what I've seen, and obviously they'll never say it, but they're not measuring cards. I don't think so, because there's a variance that a card can be size-wise out of the pack that before it can get graded. If it's too small, it's too small, but there's a variance there, and I think it varies from product to product. The Jeter SP is well known to come out small from the packs, N6 minimum size requirement, and then not get slabbed, get returned, but the submitter doesn't get charged because it's an N6, so you get a credit for a future submission. You get a voucher. It used to be a voucher. I don't think they do vouchers anymore. Like, technically vouchers, but it's bad, guys. It's bad. I mean, it's bad. It's not fun. Mike Baseball Collector did a video last week about being down about things, and I can understand that sentiment. I mean, no one. I don't think anyone watching is going to stop collecting. Obviously, maybe you change course a little bit, but I haven't been picking up much. And again, I don't know if that's necessarily a result of the trim gate. This gate needs a name. SLABGATE or something. We need to come up with some kind of name for it. But I think I've bought more tops now in this month of May than anything else. Oh, that's not true. I get Bowman Mega. I can't stress enough that if you see these at your Target, just buy them all. Just buy them all. Just buy them all and put them in the closet and forget about them. There's no need to open them. And races where there's money to be made, there will always be someone looking to take advantage of the situation. 100% correct. 100% correct. Abel says, I visited all my Targets here in Vegas like 4 times, never found one. That's right. I was lucky enough to find 4 in my Target last week when they were on sale for $17.99. Mark says, what's the big Target in the mega boxes? Probably the Wander Franco autographs. But I can't get to them now. But here's the thing, like with the Target stuff. This product is made only for Target. Obviously, you can go on eBay and get them Blowout sells them. I think Blowout selling them. I think Blowout selling it for 40 now. It's $40 or something. But it says right here, $19.99. Sorry, it's backwards, but it's $19.99, and that's new this year. They used to be they were $14.99. This is the third year they've made Bowman Megas. So 17 they were $14.99, 18 they were $14.99. Now they're $19.99. Here's the thing with Target and these exclusives. I mean, they've been making Topps Chrome update for Target only since 2013 with Arenado and Yelich in it. 2014 has its favorite player, Mookie Betts. 15, has a bunch of guys. 16, not so much. 17 now has, Bellinger. He was in regular Topps Chrome, but this card is much better looking. Luke Voigt and the kid from Oakland, Carpenter. So, and then, of course, last year has Juan Soto, Acuna. Acuna was in the regular, Gleyber was in the regular. But it has Soto that was only in the update. Now I see a lot of people say that, hey, Garrett's here. What are you doing awake? Yes. Can't you buy them through the website? You can. And I was lucky enough I think they've had 3 waves come out now for the Bowman Megas. One of the waves I was able to grab 3 before they sold out. But the thing with these exclusive is, sure, right now it seems like we'll use 2018 update, for example. They made so much. They made so much. I see it on all the targets, and people would post pictures on Blowout. Man, my target has 45, 50 boxes of these updates. There's all over the place. It's don't buy them. Don't buy them. They made so many. Don't buy them. Well, now where are they? Where are they now? Now they're in collections. They're on eBay. I don't know. I don't follow what they go for now. But with the Topps Chrome update, you got 7 packs. 7 packs of Topps Chrome for $20. 7. Let me repeat that. 7 packs of Topps Chrome that you can't get anywhere else. Can't go to the hobby store and buy them. Can't go to Topps.com and buy them. $20 to me, and it's a 100-card set. 2018 is a 100-card set. There's 4 cards in a pack, 7 packs in a box. You get inserts and blah blah blah. So it takes probably like 5 boxes to make one set. Nowhere else. It's a no-brainer. And of course, they made hangers last year with the 2 pinks per, and the pinks were only in there. And I thought, actually, this year, I thought they were going to make Bowman Mega hangers, but they didn't. At least I've not seen them, and I've not read about them being anywhere. So, when you see these Target exclusives, you just buy them and you just put them away. And I guess, I'm going off on a little rant here, and I apologize, but I guess basically what I'm saying is, like, who's hot right now in the Bowman Mega 19s? Wander Franco. Because he's in the team. He's born in 2001. He's in the Rays organization. And, that's right now. 2 years from now, who knows? But see, when you have the wax, you always have the possibility of whoever it may be will be in there. You never know. Just like if you buy the whole set and put the set away, no matter who it is, the next trout, which, I'm so tired of hearing that. But if you have the whole set, you'll have the winner. Let's see this more dog. But really, I guess one other thing I wanted to talk about is really, I think we'll see next week. I think it is. It's now the 28th here in New York. So yeah, next week, June, next Wednesday, we should see the checklist for Series 2. Flagship Series 2, Basic Top Series 2. Hey, Jack Frost. Good to see you. I think that Top Series 2 has some serious potential. Here's who should definitely be in the base set for Series 2. Tatis Jr., Eloy Jimenez, Pete Alonso. Should get Vladimir Guerrero Jr. as a base card. Now, I'm not talking like SP like they did with Acuna. Which probably would work out well as well. But if they can just get a base card, just base rookie, your $3 card, just base rookie, Series 2. I couldn't tell you the last time Series 2, had more than one significant basic rookie card. 2015 had Chris Bryant. Again, to have more than one, and they could have 4. And if you've been following Wax long enough, you know that Series 2 is pretty blasé. I mean, sure, the 2018 Series 2 hobby is real good because of Acuna and Gleyber. And I've heard that they're in the retails as well, but I don't believe it. But if you could just get those 4, and then what's the kid on San Diego Haddock, and there's a bunch of other rookies that are coming up. But if you could just get those 4 guys into regular Series 2, it would be incredible. It'd be going into Target and, if there's a Series 2 blaster on the shelf. Actually, I might just pick that up just because of those 4 rookies. Whereas, if you went into Target, even now, if you go to Walmart and they've got 2018 update on sale, buy that all, by the way. But if they've got a Series 2 blaster, why pick that up for the 0.2% chance that there's a Acuna short print in it? But nah, for the most part, you leave that there. And then Ray says Trout has put a label on the update series, and I think Topps will continue to build on that. It's possible. I'm not a fan. I mean, I like Trout's update because he doesn't have a Topps Chrome and he doesn't have any other Topps. But then you get sticky situations like with Acuna, who has a base rookie in Series 2, albeit it's shorter printed than the others. He has a card that's also in the factory set that came out before the update, and then he has the update. So technically, update's his 3rd flagship release. But because Trout's update is so expensive, a lot of people flock to the Acuna update. So I've done videos on that. Well, Ed says Yelich, Arenado, Lindor, Mookie. Yeah, they're all pushing as well because those 4 guys don't have base non-flagship rookies. But again, and in the same vein, all those 4 guys are what they are now because of Trout. If Trout would have been in 2000 Topps Chrome, none of this would have happened. The rise of flagship wouldn't have happened. It's pretty much that simple, in my opinion. Wow, I can't believe 13 people are here. It's pretty cool. You never know. You never know what's going to happen here on late nights. It's almost 2 in the morning here in New York. But I just wanted to thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. It's something I wanted to talk about. I don't really want to. Now we're up to 45 minutes, so that's not too horrible, according to Dave. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to touch base on the whole grading is a scam thing, and just get that out there. That there's that weird association between. If you guys tuned in late, there's basically PWCC sells a card to this one particular ID 3 years ago. That card is in a new higher grade holder, relisted as a consignment by PWCC, sells for, in some cases, 5 or 6 times as much for a consigner. It's unknown who the consigner is because it's being sold through the consignment service. But, and 1 or 2 times, that's fine. That's a coincidence. But we're talking dozens of times. And over on Blowout, they're showing on the thread that I mentioned, the 52 Mano thread, they're showing every day 3 or 4 examples of a card that was bought 3 years ago and then sold 2 years ago or a year ago, or bought 2 years ago and sold last year. They're just, there's just so many examples. So it's just too many examples for it to be coincidence. Now, am I saying that the 2 of them are in bed together? I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. It's and I didn't mention this. I'll mention this. The Bill Russell BVG7 that was purchased by the same person as the others, and then relisted, later again by PWCC as a PSA 7.5. Here's the caveat that really this was I think this was talked about yesterday or Saturday. Recent. In the description now, this is a new feature that Boda is doing now, because they're reading the descriptions of these past auctions that were listed by PWCC. In the description, and the seller of the BVG7 version of the Bill Russell is a Blowout member. So this is where it could get really, really interesting. Because in the description, now take from all of this what you will. You draw your own conclusions. In the description, it mentions great eye appeal, blah, 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 blah. But some noticeable wrinkles. Now, I'm not a fan of BVG. I don't have anything against them. I know a friend of mine works there. But I don't think BVG is going to give a card with wrinkles a 7. Multiple wrinkles, a 7. And I know PSA is not going to give a card with multiple wrinkles 7.5. So here's the caveat. And this is where it's all starting to, the web is starting to come together. If you're a consignment house and you're listing listings and you want to get the highest possible dollar for your listing, do you mention, wow, there's some wrinkles on this card? Or do you mention that there are some wrinkles on this card to scare off potential buyers, knowing that one particular buyer will win saving money because other potential buyers have been scared off by these wrinkles? Then the card comes back in a PSA holder at a 7.5. No mention of any wrinkles in the listing. Now, were the wrinkles there in the first place? It's quite possible. Did BVG miss the wrinkles? It's quite possible. Did BVG miss the wrinkles on the guy who actually bought this card, this blowout member who owned the card that was consigned, miss these wrinkles? I have a hard time with that. I'm not friends with the guy who owned the BVG7. I know him. We've spoken on the message board. But he's not the type of guy that's going to have that kind of card in his collection if he sees that it's overgraded. No, he's a BVG guy, BGS guy. But he's not going to have that card in his collection if it's overgraded. He actually moved it to try to win something else, but wound up not winning it. But anyway, he lost a lot of money on that wrinkles. It's just, things are just not adding up, people. Not adding up. Not adding up. I tried to watch Josh's video with him, and I think I got about 8 or 9 minutes into it, and I had to turn it off. I just couldn't get through it. Talking about conservation, all these things for years and years and years. Now they want to change the rules. Ray said it, where there's smoke, there's fire. Quite true. Quite true. Yeah, Ed said he basically compared cards to fine art. Yeah. Yep. I've never had that frame of mind. So yeah, go ahead and do yourself a favor, and if you don't want to sign up for Blowout, that's fine. But go ahead, you can read Blowout without signing in. But every day now, there's something else being spoken about, and it's just, this guy's winning these auctions, and they're cheap, low grade, mid grade, and then they're being sold again by the same consignment house for significantly more money in a higher graded slab. Yes, Just the Bear says some of these cards they destroyed were fine art. That's damn right. Like a TTR6 Cobb, a green Cobb. We don't know what these chemicals are going to do to cards in the future. If you're doing this stuff with 100 cards that are over 100 years old, you never know. So, yeah. All right, guys. I want to thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Almost an hour. There you go, Dave. Almost an hour. Me yapping. So if you've been here for it, I really appreciate it. I can't believe how many people actually tuned in. That's great. If you're watching it on the replay, that's great. I really appreciate you taking your time. I just want to say that you guys, you matter. Always learning. Keep learning. Share your knowledge. And be kind. You matter. Take care, everyone. Be well. Hey, I thought I hit the button.